Welcome back to more Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Last time, we got a whole bunch done, getting not only the bomb bag, but finishing up the Dodongo's Cavern, getting the Goron's Ruby, and becoming the sworn brother of Darunia the Goron. Today, we're gonna ignore Kepora Gabora here, and go inside this cave, or what looks to be a cave. This is actually the entrance to Death Mountain Crater. Link, it's so hot in here. We can't stay here for long. So yeah, when you come in here, you're going to have a timer. But there is a Skulltula we can grab right away. So I figured it'd be a good idea to do that while we're up here. That's pretty much the only thing we need here. So let's talk to our feathered friend here. And there we go. Hoo-hoot! Well, it looks like you've grown up a little from the Great Fairy's power. But you still don't really look like the hero who'll save Hyrule, at least not yet. If you are going back down the mountain, I can lend you a wing. Come here and grab my talons, and hold on tight. Hoo-hoot! So yeah, he will offer you a nice ride down. And to be fair, it's not a bad shortcut. This is also how you get up on top of this house, and if you didn't grab the piece of heart earlier from the cow, this is the easier way to do it. So if you didn't get it then, you can get it that way quite easily. However, there is something actually left on the trail of Death Mountain, something that we can now get with our newly acquired bombs. Now you might guess, it is, in fact, a Skulltula. So, let's head back up Death Mountain and grab that pesky little spider. Oh, what is it, Navi? I wonder if Saria knows anything about the other spiritual stone. And she just might. So, once we're done at Death Mountain, maybe we'll give her a call on our ocarina there and see if she has any info for us. Otherwise, good old Kakariko. I can't tell you how long I've spent in this village. Also, too, if I can, I would really like to find some more bugs to put in our jar. But if we can't, not a big deal. I also need to remember to go back to the Kokiri Forest to buy another Deku Shield, seeing as I burnt our last one. Bit of an oopsies, but hey, it happens to the best of us. So as we can hear, there's a nice little Skulltula in here. Ow. Messed up my timing, but there is our prize. Now, he is a bit taller than it looks, but for whatever reason, although this wall is untextured, you can climb up it. I have no idea why that is. So, your guess is as good as mine. There we go. Of course, he drops a rupee, something we don't need. Perfect. And then otherwise, I think that's pretty much everything we need to do here. Now, something that the Great Fairy mentioned, which we probably will go do right now, is that there's actually a friend of hers over at Hyrule Castle. Trust me, this is something that you want to go grab. You technically could have left Dodongo's Cavern and gotten it with the bombs as soon as you gotten them, but it wouldn't have really gone well, seeing as you would have had to leave the dungeon. Ooh! Speaking of magic, we get a magic jar. Our magic meter is filled. So now that we have magic, we'll also gain those. But, as I was saying, you could have technically left the dungeon and gotten it then, but sequentially it just doesn't make sense. Plus you would have had to walk all the way there, then back here, and I mean, it just isn't worth it. Still, no bugs. So we'll make our way to Hyrule Castle and go get ourselves a nice little reward. I think I'll just meet you there because, frankly, I think you know the walk. So, be right back. Ah, good old Castletown. So, now that we've made it here, I figured, seeing as he asked us oh so nicely, we can take a look at the Happy Mask Shop while we're here too. May as well. Oh, hello there. Hi, welcome to the Happy Mask Shop. We deal in masks that bring happiness to everyone. How would you like to be a happiness salesman? I'll lend you a mask, you sell the mask, and bring the money back here. If you want to read the fine print, take a look at the sign right over there. After you've sold all the masks, you will become happy yourself. Have faith. So, the first mask is the Keaton mask. Price, 10 rupees. Keaton stuff is hot, hot, hot. We will borrow it. You borrowed a Keaton mask. Wear it with C to show it off. You'll be a popular guy with this mask on. So, now that we have borrowed this mask, what you can do is if you put it on your C buttons, you can wear it and talk to various people. I hate foxes! And they will all have different reactions. The idea is that you're supposed to wear these masks and try to sell them for a big profit. Now, obviously, we have maxed out money right now. So, if we were to sell the Keaton mask, it wouldn't really make a big difference. The whole idea is that you don't pay a fee up front. You pay it once you are done making the money. So right now, there really isn't a big reason for us to do anything with this, but I figured I would grab it while we're here. So that way, after we buy our Deku Shield, we will be able to make some money back. Now, remember that area near the castle the Great Fairy was talking about? Turns out, this boulder is what it was. So once we blow it up, there's a nice little hole we can enter. And wouldn't you know, it's another Great Fairy's fountain. Play Zelda's lullaby, and say hello to the lovely Great Fairy. Welcome, Link. I am the Great Fairy of Magic. I will give you a magic spell. Please, take it. You got Din's Fire, one of my absolute favorite items in the entire game. Its fireball engulfs everything. It's attack magic you can use with the C button. You can use Din's Fire not only to attack, but also to burn things. When battle has made you weary, please come back to see me. So, it's as it says. Din's Fire works as a magical attack. It also means you always have fire with you, regardless of if there's actually a torch or not. There are some puzzles that will require you to use this, though they're pretty scarce, so don't worry too much. Still, point is, it's a very powerful attack. And, what's in here? Well, turns out, it's just a way to climb up this ladder. Very convenient. So yeah, now that we have Din's Fire, we never really have to worry about needing to use Deku Sticks for puzzles ever again. At least so long as we have magic. Now, if you, whoopsies, hard charge your spin attack there with the sword, you might rip through your magic a fair bit. Also, it is not daytime yet, so I cannot leave. But with Din's Fire, you not only have another way to fight, but you can solve puzzles. Again, like I've said, it's very useful. Also, I guess while we're here, see if there's any spiders. I say spiders. Whoop, there are, thank goodness. Here I was getting worried that I wouldn't find these little buggers again. Beautiful. Now that we have our bug in a bottle, I feel much better. Because, eventually, we're going to be doing some big Skulltula hunting. We don't have everything I want yet before we go around the whole of Hyrule, but we're getting pretty darn close. So, soon enough, we'll probably have a big ol' episode of just running around everywhere, finding all the spiders, and hopefully getting some darn good rewards. Now, something I didn't grab while we were in Kakariko there is I didn't grab the 20 reward for the Skulltulas. It's something that is a very interesting item. I believe it's called the Stone of Agony, and what it does is if you have, on the N64 version, a rumble pack in your N64 controller, it will vibrate whenever you are near a hidden, say, cave or something similar. The whole idea is that with the rumble pack, it'll help you find secrets, but if you've played the game before, or just have a list like most sane people, then none of these secrets are all that secret, now are they? It's a really cool concept, though, for a nice reward. It naturally helps you find all the secrets in the game, rather than just, say, the original Zeldas, like on the NES there, which just relied you to try everything on everything. So, next time we're back in Kakariko, I'll definitely grab it. But for now, I figured, I really don't need it, because one, I know where all the secrets we need are, and two, I don't have the rumble pack in my controller. So, kind of a moot point. Otherwise, the Deku Shield for 40 rupees. Thank you kindly. We will take that back. Also, I don't like that you can't really skip the text for when you purchase an item like this, at least for if it's a piece of equipment. But hey, no harm, no foul. Now that we have our trusty Deku Shield back, we are fighting fit. Interestingly, this is pretty much the best shield here for us, because there really isn't an upgrade. Sure, the Hylian shield keeps you protected from fire, but past that, Deku Shield is pretty much the way to go. Otherwise, let's see, she mentioned calling Saria, so maybe let's try it? Because maybe she'll have some insight. You want to talk to Saria, right? We sure do. Link, this is Saria. Can you hear me? Are you collecting spiritual stones? You have one more to find. You mean the spiritual stone of water, don't you? The great Deku Tree once told me that King Zora, ruler of Zora's domain, has it. Interesting. So otherwise, any other info on him? No, she's just going to repeat what she said. Still, not a bad piece of information. So we know that we're looking for water. Now, we've seen a couple places that have water. Obviously, we've seen the moat of Hyrule Castle, but that seems much too narrow. And otherwise, we've not really been to the west at all. As you can see on the map, there are 2 exits there. There's also this other enemy I haven't really pointed out. This is a Peahat. In this game, they are gigantic for whatever reason. In most other Zelda games, they're usually a lot smaller. But I figured we can show off Din's Fire, as it takes them out almost instantly. It is pretty darn good. In fact, it may be instantly, but I hit him first, so I really can't prove that. Point is, Din's Fire is powerful. And frankly, you'd be remiss to not put it to good use. It's a really great attack to just use on an enemy you really don't know what else to do on. Ooh, now here's some water, a nice little pond, and a river. This is where we need to go next. Although Saria's hint isn't exactly very forward, for anyone who's played the Zelda game, or for anyone who's new, Zoras typically are up a river. Typically. Sometimes it's not true, but let's see. Zora's River. Watch out for swift current and strong undertow. So yeah, we know that King Zora has it, and, well, this is Zora's River. So hey, looks good to me. It's also conveniently outside of Kakariko. And of course, Kaepora Gaebora is right here to help lead us. Hoo-hoo! Looks like you've gotten bigger and stronger already, Link. Just ahead lies Zora's domain. The Zoras serve Hyrule's royal family by protecting this water source. Their door will not open for anyone except those who have some connection with the royal family. Let them hear the melody of the royal family. Hoo hoo hoo! Well, alright. Pretty straightforward. Now, one big thing is that you couldn't have explored this area before because there were these boulders blocking the way. There's also a nice little Skulltula here. Pick up a nice little token. Very good. And then otherwise, we'll equip our bombs and earn ourselves the rite of passage. Very nice. Now, something big here. There are going to be a lot of these hole-like areas. And I want to say some of them have secrets that can be blown open by bombs. Otherwise, if there's no secret, you can blow open a bunch of rocks all at once. Super useful. Now, here's an interesting fellow. Hey there. Chomp, chomp, chomp. How about some magic beans? They aren't selling very well. How about 10 rupees for one piece? Sure. You got a magic bean. Find a suitable spot for a garden and plant it with the C button. Then, wait for something fun to happen. On the select item sub-screen, you can set it to left, down, or right, then use that C button to plant it. If you want to plant beans, go around and look for soft soil. Chomp, chomp, chomp. So, these beans, all of these patches of soil here that we've seen throughout our journey can be planted with a bean. If you notice, plants of soil that don't need bugs won't have the little jingle play. These are meant exclusively for the beans, but all the ones we've seen can still plant them. Now, interestingly, chomp, chomp, chomp. How about some magic beans? Well, they're not that popular yet. How about 20 rupees for one piece? Reluctantly, sure. Every time you buy a magic bean, his price is going to increase up to, I believe, a max of 100. You never really need that many of these. If you want to plant beans, go around and look for soft soil. Chomp, chomp, chomp. But I would recommend, while you have the money, at least you probably should have the money, I would recommend buying, I think it's 3 of them right now, because there's a couple spots we want to plant right away. Not all of the areas you can plant beans are really that worthwhile, but there are a couple that I would recommend. Specifically, if you've not done the jump in Kakariko to grab the piece of heart, or not in Kakariko, up Death Mountain Trail, to grab the piece of heart on top of Dodongo's Cavern's entrance, that is one that technically is supposed to require a bean. So I would recommend planting one there. In fact, I'm still going to do that. And I figure I wanted to grab the bean, then come back here with not only that, but the Skulltulas and the mask. It was a bit of a roundabout trip, but I figured it would work out pretty darn nice. So for now, let's grab our Keaton mask. And of course, our beans, if I can select them. They're in a bit of an awkward spot, so I wouldn't blame you if you might miss them a time or two. Now, let's see. I think we'll go to the Skulltula house first, just so that way we can get our lovely reward. And then we'll go give the mask to the guy and plant the bean. I'm thinking it's a very good idea. So let's see, should be in here. And let's see here. You gave us our first reward. And, here you are. The curse has been broken. Thank you. Here's a reward for you. And there it is. You obtained the Stone of Agony. If you equip a Rumble Pack, it will react to nearby secrets. I like how very specifically it says if you equip one. It's a cute little detail. And sure, it's really not going to help me much, but I will tell you something. I believe right here, it would rumble if you had a rumble pack. Place a bomb, and there's a hole. There are many, many areas like this throughout the game. I'm not going to show all of them remotely, but I will show off at least this one so that you have an idea of what the point is. There are a ton of caves in this game that don't really do anything other than just sort of existing. So I figured I would show off one of them, the one that you're supposed to find from first equipping it, and then I would just not worry about them. Most of the caves like this do have pretty good rewards in them though, so let's see what this one has. It's a huge rupee worth 200 rupees. Now yes, I did know this was in here, and I figured, let's grab it after we bought the shield and done the Keaton mask. Technically, yes, it would have been better for me to leave it for later, so that way we had an easy 200 rupees, but I wanted to show it off. Feel free to not grab it if you're playing along, or, you play it in the future. Otherwise, hey there, Mr. Guard. Whoa, ha 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 ha. Do you think you're in disguise, Mr. Hero? Oh? Is that a key something character mask? I heard he's very popular recently. He's my boy's favorite, that key something mask. If you don't mind, will you sell it to me? Sure. My boy will be very happy with this. You really are Mr. Hero. You sold the 10 rupee mask for 15 rupees. You earned a little profit. Let's go to the mask shop and pay back the mask price of 10 rupees. So yeah, that's how it's supposed to work. Ideally, you sell the mask for a profit and then return it to the mask salesman. At least the difference of, in this case, 10 rupees. There are a whole bunch of masks that you can sell throughout the game, and we will be doing them, though ultimately, the final reward for it isn't something all that special. It is certainly unique, don't get me wrong, but it's also not like a piece of heart or a bottle or anything like that. So if you've never done this before, then maybe don't worry about it too much, but still, it's pretty harmless to do, and frankly, there really is no good uses for money in this game, at least aside from a handful of things, so you may as well do something with it. Otherwise, back to the mask salesman we go. I gotta say, I always love this song in the market. It's so upbeat and cheery. Oh, Mr. Mask Salesman, I sold your mask. Oh, great, you sold it. Please pay back 10 rupees for the Keaton mask now. Payment received. So now, we have a new mask, the Skull Mask, priced at 20 rupees. We will in fact borrow it. Basically, for every new mask you sell, another one will show up. It's pretty alright. You feel like a monster while you wear this mask. This one has a bit of an interesting requirement. There are actually a couple people that you can sell this to, but one of them is my favorite, and that's probably the one I'm going to show off. The Keaton mask, at the very least, was easy to sell because you knew who wanted it. For this one, well, good luck. Now otherwise, in terms of actually selling this mask, I like to go all the way back to the Kokiri Forest, specifically the Lost Woods. There's also another piece of heart we can grab there because we have Saria's song, and I just didn't do it when we were there last. So technically, I should have gotten this piece of heart the first time we went back here, or I guess technically right after we got Saria's song. But it's fine. It'll work out now that we're going there to sell this mask. Or well, sell it, quote unquote. You'll see what I mean. Still, some of the masks in this game are really weird to sell, and to be honest, there's a couple that even off the top of my head, I don't remember who to sell them to. So worst case, if even I have to look up a guide, I will. But for now, I figured we'd get a couple out of the way, and then maybe once we get the final items that I want to go Skulltula hunting, we'll take care of them while we're doing that. I figured it would work out pretty darn well. Still, for now, I figured we may as well take a nice little break from questing to do some side questing. A little redundant, but you get the idea. After all, being a hero is a full-time job. Even if you're I think like, what, 10-year-old kid? Alright, so otherwise, we do not need Din's Fire in here. But I want to say, Skull Kid. How's it going, friend? Yes, Navi. So notice, he won't really do anything, but let's pop the Ocarina. Because if you remember, he wanted to hear Saria's song.
You know Saria's song. We should be friends. Here, take this.
A nice piece of heart. That makes number 2. Very exciting. Now, otherwise, I want to say that he is the actual person we're supposed to sell this mask to. But there's actually something else we need to do with the skull mask here before we sell it to Skull Kid. It's a bit obtuse and a little strange that they make you do this. Well, not make you, but the point is, if you remember that grove we found where they wanted us to sell them something, turns out this is where we need the mask. Excuse me, Mr. Business Scrub. I have no business with you right now. Otherwise, walk around, find the hole, and, yeesh. Forest stage. We're waiting to see your beautiful face. Win fabulous prizes. I believe that is supposed to be your hint. And so you get rushed by all of these, Deku scrubs here. And they kind of just dance around you like this. And I want to say, in order to actually sell it, I think you just leave? I don't remember. It's been a little minute. Oh, there we go. All of the young Deku Scrub brothers agree. You look exactly like our sacred forest totem. As an offering from us, please accept these Deku sticks. We will also enhance your carrying skills. Abracadabra. Alakazam! And now we can carry even more Deku sticks, up to 30 of them. And so yeah, rather than actually selling the mask here, you get a nice Deku stick upgrade. Otherwise, I think now I'll just meet you guys back at the Skull Kid, so that way we can sell our mask. Hello there, Mr. Skull Kid. So, hop up on the platform, target him, and now we can speak.
Hehe, under that mask, aren't you that Kokiri kid?
So yeah, don't know why this didn't pop up before, but it's all good.
Quite an unusual mask you have there. Hehe, I like it. It may make me look a little bit tougher. Hey, why don't you give it to me?
Sure.
Yowza, I'm gonna wear this all the time.
He just gave you 10 rupees for this 20 rupee mask. You lost money on that deal. Go back to the mask shop and pay 20 rupees for the mask. The difference will have to come out of your own pocket. So yeah, there we go. Now that we've actually sold the skull mask, all there is to do is head back to the happy mask salesman and, well, fork over the cash that we got stiffed on. I want to say this is the only mask that this happens with, but I could be wrong. After all, it's been a long time. But hey, pretty good use of our time. Got a piece of heart, upgraded our sticks, sold the mask. I mean, hey, I'd say that's pretty successful. Now this means there is one more mask for us to grab, at least for right now. There's basically another mask that comes after it that, although it looks fun, you won't be able to sell to anyone regardless of how hard you try to sell it or who you find. The actual correct person to sell it to just isn't around. You cannot find them right now. Once we clear out, I believe it's the next dungeon, then that person will show up around Hyrule Field. So until then, just do your best selling the masks. And ooh, this is going to be very narrow. Oh, we made it. Whew. Just in the nick of time. Granted, it's a bit unlucky because it's nighttime. Well, at least we tried. And I guess, while we're waiting for daytime to reappear in the castle, I guess, field? Also, what am I doing? We have the sun song. Here I am trying to wait for time, and there I go forgetting. We have the ability to change time at will. Still, by doing it like this, we at least don't have to redo the transition of re-entering the area. So, not bad. After wasting all that time, finally, back in the mask sales shop we go. Howdy! Oh, great, you sold it. Please pay me back 20 rupees for the skull mask now. Payment received. And so now, he will have the spooky mask for 30 rupees. It's a sad wooden mask. We borrowed it. Very nice. Now you might notice, it looks a little like an enemy we've seen, the Redeads. You can scare many people with this mask. Now remember that kid in the graveyard who was complaining that he wasn't very scary like Dompe? He is the one we need to sell this mask to. So, pretty easy to get your wires crossed there. That you have, you know, the spooky mask and the monster mask to sell it to the kid. Or even just the depressed guy. Still, all there is now for us to do is just head on over to good old Kakariko and actually go sell the mask. What a concept, I know. But still, at least I believe it's the second to last mask we actually need to sell. Otherwise, too, it would be wise for me to equip the mask. There we are. And I know that we've done a lot of back and forth today, and trust me, there's still so much to do. But once we're done with all these masks for now, because like I said, there is a cutoff point, then we can actually go and do some real progression. I just figured I wanted to do this now, so that way we were pretty much caught up and able to do things. Also, I realized that I haven't planted the bean yet, so maybe while we're here, I'll do that. Seems like a wise decision to me. Oh, kid in the graveyard, I have a spooky mask for you. And speaking of, well, I was going to answer Navi, but, well, I went forward a little too quickly. I was going to say, speaking of being here, there's another place we want to plant a bean. Right here. And yeah, once you plant a bean, it'll sprout up just like that. Otherwise, you just gotta wait. And don't hold your horses. It's not going to happen anytime soon. So, hey there, kid.
Yeah, it's Dompe the Gravekeeper. Huh? Oh, it's just a mask. I get a different kind of fright from that mask than I get from Dompe. Will you give that mask to me?
Sure.
With this mask, I'll be just like Dompe. Here's my money.
You sold the 30 rupee mask to a kid for full price, and he didn't mind paying it all. Let's go back to the mask shop to pay 30 rupees for the mask. You can get the new mask model, too. I like how on that one it even mentions it. But yeah, seeing as money is really just not an object in this game, I don't mind technically losing out on money for the masks. It's not really a big deal. Again, I feel like the whole purpose of the side quest isn't to make money, though you can, It's namely to unlock the final mask, which actually does something for you. Though it's going to be a little while before we actually can do that. So that's why I figured we would sell the first 3 masks now, and then, after the next dungeon when we can sell more masks, we would then continue. And plus, this gave us the perfect excuse to listen to Navi.
I wonder if Zarya knows anything about the other spiritual stone.
She did, Navi. We already asked her. Still, I guess thanks for reminding me. Admittedly, the game is a little, proactive about making sure that you aren't just lost and wandering around. Which, to the game, it may look like that's exactly what we're doing. Though, realistically, I'm, meticulously going along a route that, admittedly, I didn't predetermine, but, still, you get the idea. Beautiful. And now, technically, that's how you're supposed to get the piece of heart on top of Dodongo's cavern. So, and now that we've done that, I'll consider it, fair and square. And then otherwise, to be honest, I think that's probably going to be the end of the episode. I know it wasn't terribly exciting. We basically got some Skulltulas, a few rewards, and it did a bunch of mask selling and bean buying, as well as some planting. So, yeah, not the most exciting episode, but it's a nice bit of cleanup that at some point we were going to have to do anyways. So I figured it may as well be now. I like using after dungeons as time just to take the minute to go around and effectively see Hyrule and do the side quests that fill it. So, next time we play The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, we'll set out to Zora's River. As always, I'm Brad. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.